Hi, let's read a book. Today, we are going to read The Emperor's New Suit. Once, there was an emperor who cared nothing for the office he held, but who cared only about the exquisiteness of his clothes. Clothiers the world over would come before him with their fabrics and patterns, hoping to clothe the king. One day, 2, or was it 3, swindlers who knew of the emperor's vanity came to town and claimed to have the most special fabric in the world, for only those who were stupid or unfit for the office could not see it. The emperor, who thought he was neither stupid nor unfit for his office, summoned the 3 men and paid in advance for a new suit made out of the extraordinary material. While the emperor waited and thought of how marvelous it would be to have such a fine suit of clothes, the swindlers sat at empty looms and pretended to weave the fabric for the emperor's new pants, jacket, and regal cloak. The emperor wanted to visit the tailors and see their work, but thought it better to send his most trusted minister, a wise and accomplished man, to see the cloth instead. When the minister peered at the loom, his eyes bulged. There was nothing there. Knowing he was smart, he thought ashamedly that he must not be worthy of his job. But he couldn't tell the emperor that, so he decided to report that the cloth was lovely. Next, the emperor sent his most trusted statesman to the weaver's shop. But at the loom, the statesman blinked and rubbed his eyes in amazement. The swindlers rejoiced over the fineness of the material and the magnificence of the intricate patterns that weren't there to behold. The statesman returned to the emperor, determined not to let him know he was either stupid or unsuited for his work. "The fabric is magnificent, a suit worthy of your highness," he said timidly. One by one, the courtiers came on behalf of the emperor, and one by one they gazed at the empty loom and at each other, afraid to admit there was nothing to see. Each wondered how it could be possible that he was either stupid or not suited for the job. Finally, the emperor decided it was time for him to see the fabric. With his statesmen and minister and courtiers, the emperor rode to the weaver's shop. The weavers welcomed the emperor and began to show him the invisible fabric. The emperor looked at each of his courtiers, at the minister and the statesmen, who all in turn were looking at him. The emperor was aghast. "Can they see what I cannot?" he thought to himself. "How dreadful that I should be unfit for my position as emperor." Then the emperor himself began to pretend that he could see the fabric and feel its fineness with his fingers. Grab him by the what? The swindlers promised the emperor that his new suit would be finished in the morning. They suggested a procession be organized so that the emperor could wear his clothes before all his subjects. That night, while candles burned till dawn, the swindlers pretended to weave, snip, and sew the invisible fabric into place. Project 2025. In the morning, the emperor arrived, and the swindlers held the suit up proudly for him to see. The emperor pulled on his trousers and stretched into his jacket. He looked carefully at his reflection in the mirror to behold the tailor's artistry. Of course, the emperor saw nothing and felt rather silly, but would not admit it or anything else that could be illegal that he's ever done. His minister and statesmen praised the fit of the new clothes and their design. Their work done, the swindlers left the kingdom with their riches and the gold and silk threads and jewels that would have adorned the emperor's new suit if they'd made one. As the emperor marched unclothed through the town square, his subjects were silent. Only an innocent child laughed at the emperor. The emperor is not wearing any clothes. He was heard to say honestly. Let's see, there's the child, and of course, the emperor heard the child and knew he was right. But as the courtiers pretended to lift the train of his long cloak off the ground, the emperor continued the parade. What else can I do? He thought to himself as he passed his subjects. The emperor's new suit. Gives you something to think about, doesn't it? Thanks for listening to The Emperor's New Suit.